You're MCing this one?
Okay, hello, YouTube. I'm Alex, this is Paul.
We're like 2 for 5.
2 for 2 tonight! I didn't fuck up!
Hallelujah!
This is our couch crew review of Godzilla, which we saw last week when it came out.
Godzilla, King of Monsters, woo.
So, okay, so we'll just start with actors first, like we usually do. Don't say Bryan Cranston first.
I don't know. I know
Ken
one more.
Watanabe.
Damn it.
No, here, go ahead. It's fine.
So, first of all, Bryan Cranston, like, the beginning sequence with Bryan Cranston is heartbreaking. It is such a good sequence, and it's just like, you feel so bad for him. This is really...
it's just like, if that was my wife dying right in front of my eyes, I just...
Yeah.
I might have, like, committed seppuku right
Yeah,
there.
you see his wife in the process of dying of radiation.
Yeah.
That's pretty... And not even just that, like, he doesn't even get to see her death because,
the door's closed.
The door's closed. It's just, like, she's gonna sit there and die of radiation poisoning alone.
That's gonna take, like, 20 minutes or so. That's not a fast death.
That's not a fast death. It's gonna be bad. Like, the best case scenario, she goes over to a pipe and, like, literally
the best case scenario is she passes out pretty quick.
Yeah. Or, as I was gonna say, like, hit her head against the pipe and break her neck, and that's that.
Sure.
It's a horrible sequence, but it's so well done. Who's the director for this?
He's a British guy. I think it's Gareth Edwards.
That sounds about right.
I think. I don't remember. Anyway.
I will say he's a pretty good director, and especially for that sequence in particular that really jumps out at me. I'd say, like, thumbs up on the direction. Thumbs up for Bryan Cranston. It's Walter White from Breaking Bad without being a total asshole. So, if that's something you'd like to see, this might just be the movie for you.
Yeah.
Also, there's Ken Watanabe, who's like...
He's the... I don't want to call him the hippie of the movie, but he's kind of the hippie of the movie.
Like, if he was smoking some grass on the side, I don't think...
I wouldn't have been that surprised.
I wouldn't have been that surprised. But, you know, the one thing that I couldn't get over is he actually looked kind of young in this movie.
I thought so, compared to, like, Inception and stuff like that.
Yeah, I thought he looked like he was, like, maybe, like...
in his 40s?
Late 30s, maybe? In Inception, you're like, that guy's
old.
That guy's old. That guy's getting on here, so... Yeah. I don't know, maybe the makeup artist you give... I don't know. But,
or maybe, and I don't know if this is right, they just, like, shot him from the side a bunch of the time.
Yeah, maybe they got, like, his good side most of the time.
Yeah, so he was in profile instead.
Maybe they put some, like, oil on one side of his face and look at less wrinkly and more
Maybe
smooth.
There was some lens flare we didn't notice to hide his face or something. I don't know.
There's also a lot of other characters.
I'll talk about two of them.
Sure, go ahead.
There's Elizabeth Olsen, who is... Well, first I'll talk about Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's the Ford... I can't remember his last name. He's in the Navy. Anyway, he's in the Navy. Bryan Cranston is his dad. After his mom dies, he and his dad don't get along anymore. So he lives in San Francisco with his wife, Elizabeth Olsen, and they have a son together. Aaron Taylor Johnson. You might know him from Kick-Ass, as Kick-Ass.
Totally forgot.
He's Kick-Ass. But, I mean, he gave a decent performance. It's not like it was bad, it just wasn't good. It wasn't... They could have found a better actor for that part, I think.
Yeah, well, I think they could have given him better things to do also.
Sure, well, it's just like, I need to go save my family, but I need to help them do this. But I need to go save my family, but I need to stay here and do this.
I'll be talking about some of that.
Yeah. Anyway, Elizabeth Olsen.
Throwback to our X-Men review from earlier. Oh
yeah.
Hot. All right, continue. Sorry.
That was kind of it. I will just point out, I thought it was really funny that they're in this movie together, as husband and wife, and now they're brother and sister in Avengers. He's Quicksilver and she's Scarlet Witch.
That is such a
So,
bad thing.
I wonder if there's a little incest going on there or what.
We'll talk about that when we do that review, I'm sure.
Okay, next year.
What did you think about the plot?
It's a typical Godzilla plot. Actually, it's not. It's not really a typical Godzilla plot. It's more of a... let's try to replicate the first movie, or the first or second movie back from the 50s, and then make a 70s, 80s monster fight movie out of it.
I'm so angry at this movie for starting out so strong.
Did start out strong.
I was really okay with the explanation that they gave for why Godzilla is, why these other monsters are, why they fight. I was like, okay, that that's BS, but it makes sense. I love where they were going with Bryan Cranston.
And then they killed him!
We probably should have said spoilers first before we said that, but...
Sorry.
They kill him off like a third of the way through the movie, and you're like,
and it's just
you took the one character I cared about.
You took the best actor in this movie, and you killed him.
I swear.
Good job.
I swear, Bryan Cranston must have been getting paid by the day.
Oh God!
They couldn't afford to
really, it's just
I don't know.
When they first asked him to do it, he was just kind of cold about it, and then they sent him a script, and he was all on board for it. So I wonder how much money came with that.
I don't know. I was so angry that the first half of the movie is, in my opinion, a much better overall than the second half of the movie. I think the second half of the movie really suffers from I almost feel like they built plot around set pieces. Like they wanted to do something in Hawaii. Nothing needed to happen in Hawaii. They just threw that in there because they thought it would look cool. And it's just the main character, Ford, he does it like a bajillion things. You're like, holy crap, just take a nap at some point. He just goes from thing to 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 thing.
Well, also, I'll just list off the times that he saw the monsters. He saw the first one in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
He saw the one at Hawaii.
Yep.
He saw the one on the way to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
He saw all three in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Who the fuck sees all four of those?
Yeah, I mean...
How the fuck is that even possible?
Ford needs to go to his nearest 7-Eleven and get a scratch. Scratch his tip.
He is the luckiest guy in the world.
He's so unlucky that he's got to have a $30 million jackpot.
Yeah, sure.
And I didn't like that. I thought they could have eliminated a lot of waste in the second half. Overall, I think this is when I think of a movie that could have been 30 minutes shorter syndrome, now after seeing this movie, I'm like, that's Godzilla. I could not shake that feeling coming out of Godzilla.
I had a better opinion of it. It had its problems, but I really went in with low expectations. I saw it for what it was. It was a monster movie. It was a monster fight movie. They were trying to make it. They were trying to humanize it, but you know what? Didn't really succeed.
They didn't succeed in humanizing it because they pretty much in a sense they kind of dropped it.
There actually was one part of the humanization part that I actually liked, and that was when Aaron Taylor Johnson's character saves the little Asian kid.
I actually thought that was just useless as hell.
It shows that he's a good father. It shows that he could be a better father than his father was to him. Which leads me to my next point. Did you think that... Because I thought that Elizabeth Olsen should have died in the end. I really wanted her character to be dead. Just to bring it full circle. So
at that point,
he's the father to his son that his father could never be for him.
At that point, I cared so little. I was just I was
okay. Well,
there was a big problem that we haven't talked about though.
What?
The fights, every time Godzilla and this other monster called Muto, I believe is what
it was God,
It's
it stood
Muto.
for something.
It stands for some MUTO.
It was like massive unidentified terrestrial object,
something like that.
Yeah.
It was like for the first 3 times that both like meet each other, they like exchange one blow, and then the camera goes away, and that scene is done.
Can I give you a reason? Do you know what I'm gonna say? There's a thing called a budget, and you can't really go past it. So yeah. There's a thing called a budget, and you can't really go past it, Paul.
Like, I'm sorry,
You can't spend more than your budget.
I'm sorry. Women, this is one of the biggest problems I have with women. It's the same problem I have with Godzilla. Don't be a tease, okay? Just like don't give me a little bit and then just be withholding.
No, it's a tease if they don't show you. They showed it at the end or towards the end.
The final fight is really cool, and you're just like, Godzilla badass.
Yeah.
So they finally do, but it's it takes so.
When he uses his atomic breath and just like shoots the monster's insides out, rips off its head.
It's a great fight. I really like that, but for a movie that's called Godzilla to have so little Godzilla being Godzilla, I can't really like Godzilla, and that's this movie didn't know what it wanted to be. It didn't give enough of the stuff I liked, and then it was willing to just not have. Just rip stuff out halfway through.
I completely disagree with that. Well, not completely. I disagree with... You said the movie didn't know what it wanted to be. It knew exactly what it wanted to be. It wanted to be like the Japanese films before it, which we're not used to over here.
Then they totally shoehorned in, like, the beginning of the film doesn't really make sense.
Have you seen any of the Japanese films?
Well, no,
That's what they're like.
I ain't Japanese, bro.
That's what they're like.
Well,
they were paying respect to those.
But I don't know, as a Western film,
no, I agree.
Godzilla,
I agree with you there. We weren't ready for that kind of a film, but I can appreciate what it was trying to do. It was trying to pay respect to what came before it while also creating something new, which it sort of did. It sort of didn't. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't spectacular.
Yeah.
So I mean. You give your grade first, because you're gonna give a shitty grade.
Well, I'm not gonna leave it for what it does well. It does really well. I really did like a lot of the fight at the end is great. I really liked the beginning. The middle was just kind of a slog and could have been really cut down because there was so much
Paul,
good.
Can I
and
stop you there?
No, you can't.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop you there and say something. Just one more thing. If they had cut out some of the things in the middle. You would have bitched about pacing issues. You don't get a response. Just continue.
Whatever. Because there's so much that I did like and so much that I didn't like, this is a typical, for me, 5 out of 10 film. Neither good nor bad. I don't know if I would recommend people go see this in theaters. I would say the optimal way to see this movie is if you can wait till it comes out on DVD and you have a really, really good $1,200 Bose sound system and a big screen TV.
Sure.
Like, if you do that, you've won all the way around.
Yeah.
But, anyways.
My grade, I'd give it... I gave Lego Movie, I think, 6.5. I'd give this 6.5 or 7. I'd give it a tie with that. It was just as good as that. I mean, they're not even close to similar movies, but... This did what it was trying to do, as well as Lego Movie did what that was trying to do. So,
anyways, so we're a bit different here. I guess we'll just have to figure out
his expectations were higher than mine.
Well, they weren't though. Like, I saw a review on IGN for Godzilla. I saw
it on a really high score too.
No, I saw the review on the front page, and I purposefully
didn't read it.
Didn't read it at all.
They gave it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. Anyone that says this is a 9 out of 10 movie is lying to themselves.
Anybody who says this is a 9 out of 10 movie, there's 2 possibilities. Well, one possibility, they love Godzilla. They've seen all the Godzilla movies. This is another Godzilla movie.
That's so few people, though. Like, I don't know.
This movie, I think a lot of people were expecting, and this is what I'll end with, people were expecting another typical Western monster movie. And with that I mean something like Godzilla from '98, where he wrecks up a city. Or Cloverfield, where that monster wrecks up a city.
I haven't actually seen either of those.
Well, That's
I'll
a
take your word for
typical Western monster movie. King Kong wrecks up. I mean, he doesn't really wreck up a city, but
That movie has a slew of problems too. Anyways, we're digressing.
But no, just don't expect a Western monster movie because that's not what it is. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. See ya.